Let's begin with another episode of Panchatantra by Aparna Ramaswamy.
Good morning, I'm Aparna Ramaswamy with another episode of the Panchatantra. The two jackals who are talking about thinking ahead and consequences. One jackal says to the other, "You have gone ahead and brought about probably what is going to be a horrible consequence for this entire forest. You have started a fight between the Lion King and his best friend, the bull, and for no reason, just for your own selfish purposes. You have acted just like the foolish crane and the mongoose did in the story. In that story, there was a crane who lived on top of a tree. And there was a serpent a cobra that lived at the bottom of the tree. Every time the crane would lay an egg, the cobra would go up and eat up the egg. And the crane was completely frustrated, didn't know what to do. So he goes to his friend and says, "What do I do?" Now this mongoose comes up with a plan and says, "Why don't you go and get meat of some animal and lay a trail right up to your tree? And there'll be another mongoose, my friend, who follows the trail, comes up and will kill the serpent." This crane listens to that advice, doesn't think about what will happen next, goes and gets pieces of meat and lines up the path to the tree. And as promised, another mongoose follows the trail, comes, eats the snake, but doesn't stop with the snake, goes up and eats the crane too, and ends up dying. The jackal says, just like that crane, you're not thinking ahead of what this fight between the bull and the lion might mean for you and me. What if the lion is killed? The bull is a strong fellow. Who's going to take care of you and me? Have you thought about it? You have really acted with very little thought and very impulsively, just like in that story of the man who said this preposterous lie about an iron balance. What is that story? Please join us in next week for another episode of the Panchatantra.